The scene unfolds at the Bellant Gate, where Killian, brimming with enthusiasm, rallies the new recruits, urging them to exhibit spirit and diligence in their training despite having only been at it for an hour. Yet, we witness the weariness etched on the faces of these fresh trainees. Undeterred, Killian sternly reminds them that exhaustion is not a trait befitting a knight of Pendragon, igniting a newfound determination within them. Observing from the sidelines, Eren nods approvingly at Killian's leadership, commending his efforts. Eager to gauge the progress of the recruits, Eren engages Killian in conversation. Killian, with a hint of disappointment, shares his observation that many aspiring knights nowadays are more talk than action. In response, Eren offers reassurance, acknowledging the inevitable adjustment period when recruiting in bulk. He emphasizes Killian's pivotal role in molding these recruits, bestowing upon him the title of commander, a moment that visibly stirs Killian's passion. Embracing his newfound designation, Killian pivots towards the soldiers, urging them to strive for excellence. As Eren observes the scene unfolding before him, a contemplative air envelopes his thoughts. He reflects on the recent events, noting a singular enthusiasm amidst the gathering of new recruits, each harboring aspirations for the coveted knighthood. His mind wanders to the cryptic words of the 6 dragons regarding the dragon god and the demon god, a reminder of the looming uncertainty that hangs over them, despite the absence of immediate threats. In this calm before the storm, Eren recognizes the prudence in fortifying the forces of Pendragon, a strategic measure to brace themselves for the inevitable clashes on the horizon. His gaze drifts upward to the castle's roof, where Sol stands alongside her griffins, her departure from her sanctuary signaling a shift in the status quo. Eren observes the familial bond between Sol and her majestic companions, sensing an unparalleled contentment radiating from her. In a moment of telepathic connection, Sol alerts Eren to the approaching knights, her voice resonating in his mind with urgency. Turning his attention back to the courtyard, Eren watches as the knights converge upon Killian, their seasoned demeanor betraying their wealth of experience in battles fought across distant lands. From the vantage point of the new recruits, these knights embody a sense of freedom, their nomadic existence defined by unwavering reliance on their weapons and skills. The new recruit is certain that these free knights have caught wind of the Pendragon's resurgence and have arrived to pledge their swords to the Pendragon cause. Killian steps forward, proudly identifying himself as the commander of the Order of the White Dragon under the Pendragon banner. One of the knights introduces himself as Reed Pollock, a free knight hailing from Evendell, expressing his desire to find a place where he can truly showcase his skills. Another knight, Barrio, echoes Reed's sentiment, seeking the same opportunity to prove himself. Curiosity piqued, Killian inquires about the identity of the masked figure among them. Without hesitation, the enigmatic individual declares to Killian that he has no name to offer. Killian's surprise is palpable, prompting Barrio to step forward and explain that neither Reed nor himself are privy to the masked man's true identity. Reed further reveals that they encountered the masked figure during their travels and, as fate would have it, they've been journeying together towards a common destination. Upon hearing this, Killian concludes that the masked individual harbors the same aspiration to join the ranks of the Pendragon Knights. Barrio nods in agreement with Killian's assessment, acknowledging the current state of the Pendragon Order without a proper head of knights. He asserts that with the combined skills of himself and Reed, they can fortify the Pendragon armies while simultaneously reaping the rewards of wealth and fame. The Pendragon soldiers bristle with indignation at this suggestion, their loyalty to their order evident in their reactions. Just as tensions reach a crescendo, Eren strides into the scene, diffusing the hostility with calm authority. He assures everyone that the origin of these knights matters little in the face of their capabilities, emphasizing the importance of skill over attitude. Killian and Reed exchange surprised glances at Eren's unorthodox stance, but Eren further clarifies that only prowess in combat truly matters. With a nod from Eren, Killian eagerly steps up to the challenge, a gleam of excitement in his eyes. Barrio steps forward to meet Killian, but the seasoned Pendragon Knight proves his mettle, standing firm against Barrio's advance. The new recruits watch in awe as Killian's skill becomes evident, culminating in a decisive strike that brings Barrio to the ground, showcasing the prowess of the Pendragon Knights. As Killian turns to Reed, Shock etches across his features at Barrio's swift defeat. Frustration seething within him, Reed launches into a relentless assault against Killian, but the seasoned knight effortlessly parries each blow, swiftly turning the tide in his favor. With a deft maneuver, Killian dispatches Reed as well, eliciting cheers from the watching recruits who marvel at his skill. Curious about the potential of these free knights, Killian turns to Eren for insight. Eren reassures him that despite their unorthodox origins, these knights possess considerable strength, making them valuable assets for Pendragon. Turning his attention to the masked figure, Eren prompts him to face Killian in combat, but the enigmatic individual declines, expressing disinterest. Killian bristles at the masked figure's informal demeanor towards Eren and demands to know his name. Unfazed, the masked figure maintains his anonymity, further fueling Killian's ire. In a fit of anger, Killian charges at the masked figure, only to be met with astonishment as the masked figure effortlessly subdues him. The new recruits stare in disbelief at this unexpected turn of events, while Eren can't help but smile, recognizing the masked figure's formidable strength. Determined to enlist him in Pendragon's ranks by any means necessary, Eren watches on with anticipation. Upon witnessing the masked figure's prowess, Eren boldly declares himself as the next challenger for the Cavaliers of Vows. Vows, taken aback by Eren's audacity, questions his intentions. Unfazed, Eren reminds Vows that he faces not just any opponent, but a young lord of Pendragon. With a pointed gesture of his sword towards Vows, Eren issues a challenge, adhering to the sacred customs of dueling among the Cavaliers of Vows. The mention of Vows sparks astonishment among Killian and the other soldiers. Hailing from the distant and tumultuous southern regions, Vows Cavaliers are renowned for their combat prowess, forged in the crucible of perpetual warfare that defines their homeland. In these lands of constant conflict, where territories clash and alliances shift like the sands, the Cavaliers of Vows stand as formidable warriors, embodying the skills of countless seasoned fighters. Killian finds himself taken aback by the presence of a Vows Cavalier in their midst. Rumors of their exploits may have circulated, but encountering one in person is a rarity beyond imagination. Yet, what astounds him even more is Eren's familiarity with the Cavaliers of Vows, a testament to the depth of Eren's knowledge and the mysteries surrounding his past. Meanwhile, Eren's mind races with recognition as he observes the mysterious figure. With a single glance, Eren discerns telltale signs of the Vows Knights. The distinctive attire, the unmistakable accent of the southern lands, and the hallmark dual swords, one long, one short, strapped to the figure's back. Memories of battles fought in a past life flood Eren's thoughts, memories of facing Vows Knights in the southern reaches. But it's not just the swords that catch Eren's eye. It's the readiness for combat evident in every aspect of the figure's appearance. From the mace and shield secured to the saddle to the presence of a crossbow, Eren recognizes a seasoned warrior prepared for any eventuality. Addressing the figure, Eren remarks on the unwavering pride of the Cavaliers of Vows, who bow to none but those they deem worthy. Even the Emperor himself cannot compel a Vows Knight to lower their head, such is their confidence in their own prowess. Eren surmises that the figure seeks a master capable of wielding his sword, but the figure refutes this, claiming to have abandoned such notions in favor of following the guidance of the stars. Amidst the unfolding scene, it comes to light that the Vows warrior had joined the ranks of the Free Knights in exchange for water. Eren reflects on the significance of astrology to the people of Vows, recognizing the role of celestial guidance in their lives. With a knowing nod, Eren acknowledges the alignment of fate that led the Vows warrior to the Pendragon stronghold. Drawing his sword, the Vows warrior asserts the principles by which Cavaliers of Vows abide. They do not serve for wealth, status, or trivialities. Instead, their loyalty demands a far greater price, the willingness to risk life itself. Should Eren desire the allegiance of a Vows warrior, he must be prepared to stake his life on the outcome of their duel. With resolve in his eyes, Eren accepts the terms, understanding the gravity of facing a Vows Knight in combat. As the duel commences, Reed remarks to Barrio on Eren's impressive stance and the mercenary-like quality of his sword. Eren wastes no time, charging at the Valva's warrior with ferocious speed, catching Killian and the others off guard. Yet, despite Eren's swift assault, the Valva's warrior effortlessly parries his attack, swiftly disarming him and pinning his sword to the ground. In a swift and fluid exchange of blows, the Valva's warrior unleashes his second sword, aiming a strike at Eren. With remarkable agility, Eren evades the attack, countering with a swift thrust of his own. However, the Valva's warrior proves equally adept, deftly sidestepping Eren's assault with a mere graze, leaving a cut on Eren's cheek in return. As their swords clash in a symphony of steel, they momentarily break apart, sizing each other up. The shock on Killian and the others' faces is palpable as they witness the intensity of the duel. Eren, breathing heavily, confesses his disbelief at missing his usual trump card, a tactic that typically proves effective against dual-wielding opponents like the Valva's warrior. He recounts how, in a moment of imbalance caused by the Valva's warrior's smaller sword, he had seized the opportunity to launch a spinning cut, only to find himself swiftly countered by the Valva's warrior's relentless assault aimed at his head. Acknowledging the Valva's warrior's formidable strength, Eren is met with a probing question about his true identity. The Valva's warrior finds it difficult to believe that Eren could be the son of a mere noble. In response, Eren reveals a surprising truth. He sees himself as no different from the Valva's warrior, bound by the same indomitable spirit and thirst for battle. Having faced down countless monsters and soldiers in his past, Eren recounts to Valvas how each encounter was not an act of indiscriminate violence, but rather a means of survival. He explains how the very essence of the Valva's warrior, fierce and unyielding, resonates within him, fueling his own determination. Observing the shift in Valvas's demeanor as he readies both swords, Eren remarks with a hint of admiration that the nameless Valvas has finally chosen to take the duel seriously. The scene shifts to Karuto and Krudel, accompanied by Mia, awakening to the sound of commotion. Curiosity piqued, they venture forth to investigate, only to be met with astonishment upon discovering Eren engaged in a duel with a formidable swordsman. Each exchange of blows between Eren and the Valva's warrior is met with mutual admiration, leaving Karuto and Krudel in awe of the unknown swordsman who matches the young master's skill. Meanwhile, as the duel unfolds, the Valva's warrior narrowly misses a strike, prompting Eren to feint and launch a counterattack. The display of Eren's prowess garners impressed murmurs from Killian and the surrounding knights. However, their amazement is short-lived as the Valva's warrior adeptly blocks Eren's feint with his second sword. In a fluid sequence of movements, the Valva's warrior swings his sword, but Eren deftly evades by leaping over the blade. Seizing the opportunity while airborne, Eren attempts to strike the Valva's warrior, yet the agile swordsman evades the attack with equal finesse. As Eren lands gracefully on the ground, the Valva's warrior charges forward. Despite Eren's quick reflexes allowing him to dodge the initial assault, the Valva's warrior surprises everyone with a cunning feint, swiftly striking Eren from the left with his second sword. As the duel reaches a critical moment, Eren swiftly blocks the Valva's warrior's strike from the right, seizing the warrior's hand before he can deliver another blow. Acknowledging each other's skill, they exchange words of respect. However, in a sudden turn of events, the Valva's warrior executes a swift feet sweep, catching Eren off guard. Reacting with lightning reflexes, Eren plants his hand on the ground, propelling himself out of harm's way. Capitalizing on the opening, Eren launches a retaliatory kick at the Valva's warrior. Their clash resumes with renewed intensity, leaving onlookers like Reed and Barrio in shock at the sheer skill displayed in the duel. Even Karuto finds himself astounded by Eren's prowess against the formidable Valva's warrior. In a bold move, Eren reveals his strategy to exploit the weakness of dual wielders. The Valva's warrior, intrigued, queries Eren about this vulnerability. Without hesitation, Eren hurls a handful of sand into the warrior's eyes, forcing him to retreat momentarily to regain his composure. With determination blazing in his eyes, Eren charges at the Valva's warrior, only to find himself abruptly halting as the warrior drops his sword. Karuto and Killian share a moment of shock at this unexpected turn of events. Without missing a beat, The Valva's warrior moves to strike at Eren with his right arm, but before the blow can connect, Eren deftly positions his sword near the warrior's neck, effectively ending the duel. The sight leaves Killian and the surrounding onlookers stunned. Acknowledging the Valva's warrior's formidable skill, Eren expresses his admiration for the Cavaliers of Valvas and credits his victory to the aid of his cherished sword. He admits that without it, the outcome may have been different. In a display of humility, the Valva's warrior bows before Eren, conceding defeat. With a sense of reverence, he reveals his name to be Elkan, pledging to serve as Eren's sword and vanquish his adversaries. The gathered crowd erupts into cheers for Eren's triumph. Meanwhile, Eren is taken aback by the revelation of Elkan's name. The new recruit soldiers turn to Killian with curiosity, inquiring if Elkan is a renowned knight. To their surprise, Killian and the other free knights admit that they've never heard of him before. Killian wonders if young Lord Eren is familiar with this mysterious knight. Meanwhile, Eren is shocked by the revelation. Elkan, known as the Stormbringer, was a legendary figure in Eren's previous life, a formidable cavalier of Valvas whose exploits earned him widespread recognition. Serving under the Duchy of Erangis, Isla fought in numerous battles, carving out a name for himself as one of the Empire's most distinguished warriors. However, in the current timeline, Isla's fame has yet to reach its zenith, leaving him poised to become a hero of renown in the future. Seizing the moment, Eren takes a seat before Isla, surprising Killian and the others with his boldness. He instructs Isla to lift his head, declaring that Isla will serve as the sword while Eren assumes the role of master. However, Eren emphasizes that their positions do not signify differing levels of importance. Rather, they simply fulfill different roles in their partnership. With a warm smile, Eren extends an invitation to Isla, expressing his desire for Isla to join him as a comrade like everyone else. Surprised by the unexpected offer, Isla remarks that Eren is indeed an intriguing individual. Interrupting the moment, Sol calls out to Eren, prompting her descent from the palace roof accompanied by her majestic griffins. Isla's astonishment is palpable at the sight of the mythical creatures. As Sol approaches Eren, Reed and Barrio exchange bewildered glances, unaware of her identity. Killian enlightens them, revealing Sol as the White Dragon, a revelation that leaves Reed and Barrio in shock. Eren introduces Isla to Sol as Soldrake, his pact partner and the White Dragon of Pendragon. Unfazed, Isla approaches Sol without a hint of fear, surprising Reed and Barrio with his unwavering composure in the presence of the legendary creature. Reflecting on Isla's demeanor, Eren recalls his own overwhelming reaction upon first encountering Sol in his previous life. He muses on Isla's intriguing character, noting the depth of strength and resolve hidden beneath his calm exterior. As Eren gazes up at the sky, his mind is consumed with plans to venture beyond the confines of their territory. His objective, to seek out individuals of renown from his previous life. Among them, he seeks the likes of Eden Dorian, a young merchant said to possess a fortune rivaling that of the Emperor, hailing from the bustling free city of Ovilla. Then there's Jean Oberon, an eccentric magician dwelling in a tower amidst the vast forests of Asha in southern Valvas, renowned for his creation of mystical artifacts. And not to be forgotten is Ivan Zitter, a remarkable general who, at the tender age of 20, conquered the entire northern region with a mere few hundred mercenaries. Eren reflects on the invaluable resource his memories from his previous life provide him. They serve as a guide to securing the most exceptional talents before anyone else. However, before he can delve further into his plans, Crudel receives a message from his elders through a magical communication ore. Intrigued by the crystal, Killian queries Crudel about its significance. Crudel enlightens Killian about the magical communication ore, a treasured possession passed down through generations in the Orc village. With its aid, Crudel can easily communicate with the elders using sorcery. As he reads the message, Crudel relays alarming news. Humans have infiltrated the Ancona forest, accompanied by armed mercenaries numbering in the dozens. Eren's surprise is palpable upon hearing this revelation. Further details emerge as Crudel reveals that the leader of the group wears an ogre's helmet, an unsettling revelation that leaves Eren stunned. Karuto poses the question of whether this man defeated the orcs, speculating on the formidable power he must possess if he did. Meanwhile, Eren's thoughts race, recognizing the ominous significance of a man wearing an ogre's helmet, none other than Balti. Fueled by anger, Eren emits a crackling blue aura, alarming everyone present. In frustration, he demands further information from Krudel, only to be met with the revelation that communication with the orc elders has been severed. Determined to take action, Eren declares their intention to journey to the orc village. The scene shifts to the Ankono forest, where Balti stands victorious amidst defeated orcs. The scene transitions to a dimly lit room where Balti confers with the leader of the centaurs. He relays crucial information regarding Pendragon's resurgence, detailing their acquisition of the power of the White Dragon and their efforts in recruiting fresh troops and bolstering their arsenal. With a solemn gesture, Balti unveils a mirror, revealing a cloaked figure who, through the use of magic, has subjugated the centaurs under his control. Meanwhile, in the tranquil depths of the orc forest, the young orclings gather around Krudel, playfully engaging with him. Nearby, Killian and Karuto find themselves similarly enveloped in the playful antics of the orc children. However, when one of the orc youngsters approaches Eren, they recoil in fear at the intensity of his angered expression and the palpable pressure of his aura. The child scurries away in fright, leaving Killian to ponder the cause of Eren's ire. Karuto explains to Killian that ever since Eren received the news from the Elder, his countenance has remained clouded with anger. Killian observes a flicker of something akin to a dragon's aura briefly manifesting behind Eren, prompting both him and Karuto to urge Eren to temper his emotions. On the flip side, even Isla's presence instills fear in the children. However, the atmosphere shifts when the Elder of the Orcs steps forward, expressing gratitude to Eren Pendragon for gracing the orc forest with his presence. Having caught sight of Soldrake, the revered guardian deity of the forest, the Elder commands all the orcs to pay homage to the majestic creature. With solemn reverence, the orcs bow before Soldrake. Sensing the tension in the air, Sol intervenes, advising Eren that progress cannot be made if he remains consumed by anger. She urges him to find balance, cautioning that allowing anger to consume him could lead to his own downfall. With those words, Sol gracefully ascends to rest atop a nearby tree, leaving Eren to contemplate her wisdom. After exchanging pleasantries with the Orc Elder, Eren, accompanied by Karuto and Krudel, is invited to converse in private within the confines of the Orc dwelling. Seated before the Elder, Eren listens attentively as the Elder reveals troubling news. A group of humans had infiltrated the forest undetected by the Orcs' magical surveillance, only revealing themselves as they departed from the forest. A ripple of surprise courses through Krudel as he questions the Elder Orc about the breach in their magical barrier. With furrowed brows, Krudel probes further, speculating whether the humans were aided by a magician. However, the Elder Orc dispels this notion, revealing that the invaders consisted solely of soldiers and colossal wolves. Despite the absence of a mage, the Elder Orc remains convinced that some form of magic was involved, an unsettling revelation that weighs heavily on Krudel's mind. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, the Elder Orc recounts how their orc warriors were swiftly defeated by the human intruders, leaving Karuto visibly shaken. Eren's thoughts race as he pieces together the puzzle. He surmises that the mastermind behind the incursion must be none other than Balti, leading the feared Rakshasa unit into the heart of the forest. The Elder Orc's revelations take an unexpected turn as he discloses that the humans proceeded to seek an audience with the Centaur clan, an announcement that catches Eren off guard. Contemplating the intricate dynamics between the Pendragon house, the Orcs, and the Centaurs, Eren reflects on the complex history of their coexistence. It becomes evident to him that the Centaurs, originally inhabitants of the Ancona forest, harbor resentment towards humans, a sentiment likely stemming from conflicts with the Pendragon house. Yet, the Orcs, acting as a defensive buffer, have historically stood in opposition to the Centaurs' aggression. The strained relationship between the Centaurs and Orcs becomes increasingly apparent to Eren, who recognizes both species as inherently belligerent and combative. Content to remain an outsider to their conflict, Eren opts to refrain from intervening, hoping for a peaceful resolution. However, his hopes are swiftly shattered when Killian bursts into the room, breathless with urgency. He delivers alarming news. The centaurs have launched an unexpected attack on humans. Rushing outside, Eren is met with a scene of chaos and confusion as centaur arrows rain down upon them. In a swift display of reflexes, Eren catches an arrow mid-air, only to find the unmistakable crest of the Empire emblazoned upon it. Shock courses through him, mingled with a rising tide of anger, as he realizes the centaurs have allied themselves with the Empire. His dragon's aura ignites once more, a manifestation of his fury and determination. With a resolute expression, Eren issues orders to the Pendragon forces, commanding them to retaliate against the centaur aggressors. Faced with the unprovoked assault, he urges his soldiers to stand firm and prevent the centaurs from escaping,